මීළඟට අපිට තියෙන්නේ තවත් දේශකෙක් හඳුන්වා දීමට පසුගිය දිනවල රටට එරෙහිව ක්‍රියාත්මක වුණු විවිධ බලවේග වලට විරුද්ධව අධිකරණ මාර්ග ගැනීමට පෙරමුණගෙන ක්‍රියා කළ එක් විශේෂ තැනැත්තියක් සිටිනවා. ඇය නමින් ජිහාන් හමීඩ්. ජිහාන් හමීඩ් මහත්මියනි, ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාව නියෝජනය කරමින් ඔබගේ කෙටි දෙසුමටයි අවස්ථාව මේ.
ගරුතර සංඝරත්නයන් අවසරයි, අනිකුත් පැමිණ සිටින පූජකතුමන්ලාගෙන් අවසරයි, ආරාධිත අමුත්තන්ගෙන් අවසරයි. අද මට මේ දේශනය සිංහලෙන් කතා කිරීමට මහත් උවමනාවක් තිබුණත් සංවිධායක මණ්ඩලෙන් මට ඉල්ලීමක් කෙරුවා මේ දේශනය ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් පවත්වන්න කියලා. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to talk. I am a lady, not only as a woman. I am presenting myself as a strong nationalist, and also I'm proud to say that I am also a representative from the Muslim minority community. I take great pride in inviting me for this occasion to give my perspective on the fully implementation of the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment of Sri Lanka is being enforced into our constitution by India in 1987 in a spectacular manner, which is a foreign nation cannot interfere into a sovereign state affairs in the matters of its constitution, law, and it violates the international norms when a foreign country interferes into internal states of a country. Now, what had happened in Sri Lanka is in 1987, when President J.R. Jayawardena agreed to sign the Indo-Sri Lanka Pact with former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, even the President J.R. Jayawardena did not have the mandate to devolve Sri Lanka into provincial councils. He had the mandate only to govern Sri Lanka under a central government. So when he made this decision under, I don't know, we all call J.R. Jayawardena is the President J.R. Jayawardena is the fox of politics, but I would rather call him a chicken, because why did he agree to this pressure that's given from India to devolve our country into provinces? It's already a small country. We are all living in peace. We have Tamils, Muslims. And then, okay, for some reason, from the north and east side, the madman Prabhakaran, somehow he wanted to have a separate state for Tamils. I don't know whether he wanted a separate state for himself to rule like a king, or if he wanted a separate state for the people. So he did not understand. I don't know, somehow it is a small country. We are Sri Lankans, we are Muslims, Sinhala, Tamil, we are all living together in one country. If Prabhakaran wanted a separate state for the people in the north and east, what did he plan to do for the people who was living in the south, the Tamil people? There are people clustered all over the country. We are a nation. All the people are free to live anywhere, wherever you want to live in Sri Lanka. There is no restriction in the constitution to say that you can live here, you can't live there. And there is no, the right to movement is practiced in Sri Lanka by everybody. So when, going back, when J.R. Jayawardena, President J.R. Jayawardena, when he agreed, okay, Prabhakaran was giving a tough time for the government of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was not ready for war, and we are off guard, and he is assassinating, killing people. And JR, I still can't understand why he agreed. Why then? It's not mountain age. There was United Nations. There was everything. But I don't know. It was under threat, under manipulation, scared. I don't know why. Somehow it has agreed. But now to see so many decades later, when we turn back and see why J.R. Jayawardena agreed to such Indo-Sri Lanka pact, because it was not done for the betterment of the Tamil people. Because it doesn't talk about the Tamil people and what they need. Indo-Sri Lanka Pact is more like an economic agreement. Sri Lanka, India is lying. India is standing behind the Tamil people, and it is pursuing its geopolitical agenda. So why, I mean, it is very clearly understood, and during the time of when this Provincial Council Act needed to be passed by the Parliament, and it need 2/3 majority, but we remember J.R. Jayawardena came to power when Sirimahadi Bandaranaike lost election. He also, I think he had 4/6 or 4/5, some majority. It was bigger than 2/3. So he used that, and he intimidated his members of the Parliament. And I don't think anyone signed this Provincial Council happily. On top of it, let's not forget, India's side of the bargain, when they signed the Indo-Sri Lanka Pact, they said they will bring the IPKF and they will contain the LTT. Did India manage to contain the LTT? Did India help us bring peace? No. India didn't. It only told in the agreement we want the Trincomalee, this oil tanks, and we have to do joint ventures here, there, and everything, and it's more like economic agreement. And India did not keep its part of the bargain. IPKF forces went off humiliated. It was the Sri Lankan army, Sri Lankan forces that defeated terrorism and brought peace to this country. Thank you. And we should not be ashamed. We should not forget that more than 30,000 lives were lost, poor mothers. And all this was done to prevent the country from being dismantled. And Indo-Sri Lanka Pact does not only talk about devolving power to the north and east only, it also wants to devolve powers to the whole country. For what? When everybody is living in peace. I don't think this 13th Amendment is something people of Sri Lanka need. We don't need 13th Amendment, power devolving, we don't need. We need water, we need food, we need jobs, we need peace. 13th Amendment, I don't know, after 87, so many governments came. None of the politicians talk about fully implementing the 13th Amendment because they know people don't like it and they will lose in every election. That is what happened to President Ranil Wickremesinghe in the last election. And now his uncle in 87, chicken or fox, I don't know, the same thing, his nephew is trying to do the same thing again. I can't understand why. And he have the mandate. What President Gotabaya Rajapaksa had, nothing else. He has to follow that mandate only. He can't talk about provincial council. He can't sell our assets. We gave 153 seats to the previous government not to do these things. That is why we gave them a thumping majority. Now the government is toppled. Now President Ranil Wickremesinghe comes and he does what exactly we don't want. India needs to understand who is raising their hand to fully implement the 13th Amendment is treacherous. It is treachery to this country. So that needs to be stopped and they need to be careful. We people are watching, not only 69 people, I am sure 21 million people, nationalists are there in this country. We are all together on it and we want our country together. So therefore, This is a warning to all the politicians in Sri Lanka, all parties and everyone. Stop fighting with each other, because when you fight with each other, it is very easy for the geopolitical peoples to divide you. It is the same for the people, it is same for the politicians. This is time a united force should come together, and we have to say no. Excuse me, I just, as a Muslim minority community member, I just need to say something that disturbs me. All right, now, when the Indo-Sri Lanka Pact was signed, I think about 9 to 10% Muslim people are living all over Sri Lanka, and our biggest portion of the Muslim community is living in the eastern province. So when Indo-Sri Lanka Pact was signed, surprisingly, no participation by the Muslim community. It was just done with the Tamil people and the government of Sri Lanka. So what happened to the interests of the Muslim people? They have been chased away from their land, and they were living in big lands. They are like podi podi ගෙවල් වල හැමතැනම එවිලා මේ ඉන්නවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ලොකු land ඔක්කොම ඒගොල්ලන් වෙලවල දාලා. அருண் தம்பி உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் தானே நான் சொல்றது, உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் தானே இது பிரச்சனைன்னு சொல்லி. So he is also telling this, even Prabhakaran would not have agreed. This Indo-Sri Lanka Pact is not for the love of the people, Tamil people. It's not for the love of the Tamil people. They are cheating. So I think we all should get together and unitedly oppose this. And we have to warn everyone, talk about this. This is worse than the economic crisis we are facing. We are a rich nation with language, culture, religion, and we have everything here. We have resources. There's no need for us to beg from everywhere. We are economically crashed. We are in debt. What has happened? What kind of conspiracy is going on? Something wrong here. I think people of Sri Lanka, because the Buddhist majority is sleeping, people like us have to come out to wake you up. So please, 13th Amendment should be abolished, and it should go out of Sri Lanka's constitution. Thank you.
බොහොමත්ම ස්තුතියි ජාන් හමීඩ් මහත්මියනි. ඔබතුමියත් නැවත වතාවක් අපට තහවුරු කළා, රට හමුවේ තහවුරු කළා 13 වෙනි ව්‍යවස්ථා සංශෝධනයෙන් කිසිදු ජාතිකයෙකුට, කිසිදු ජාතිකත්වයකට අයත් සමාජිකයෙකුට, කිසිදු